Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to the fruit of Grisaia. I refrained from making syrup, only got myself some cold water and a glass of milk, and I am back after a short, maybe 15-20 minute break. Alright, now that everyone is coming back from their summer vacation, I wonder how the story's gonna develop. Like I said on the previous episode, I actually don't remember much about this route in particular. Only that I did not like it all that much. But hopefully it will change my opinion on it. 5 in the morning, whether or not the world changes around me, my priorities stay the same. Barring a job request or other special circumstances, I run. Simple as that. Haven't seen Michiru yet today. Of course, it's still early in the morning, but I've got the sense she won't be approaching me quite so proactively from now on. Naturally, that's because the others are coming back. With their return, our private make-believe world is coming to an end. We'll be returning to our normal lives such as they are. I run my standard route at a fixed moderate pace, careful not to wind myself, and finish with a light cooldown cruise. Of course, I regularly pour water into my heated body to prevent dehydration. It's the exact same routine as always. For some reason, it feels less than fully satisfying today. The day slips past noon, and there's still no sign of Michiru. I briefly consider heading up to her room to see if anything happened, but that would probably be an overreaction. It's possible that she's just sleeping in for one thing. After all, we've been running around all over the place on those pretend dates. It wouldn't be surprising if the accumulated fatigue caused her to oversleep. In the end, I decide to take a walk around the campus to clear my mind. I'm fully familiar with the scenery by now, but a firm grasp of the local terrain and arrangement of nearby buildings is extremely important. It's crucial to maintain awareness of viable escape routes and suitable places to take shelter in case of an emergency. At such times, up-to-date and precise knowledge of your environment can be the difference between life and death. Therefore, I proceed to sequentially compare the layout of the area against the map in my mind. Sakaki?
Tadaima.
What's with that look on your face? Something wrong?
いいえ、むしろ何かあったのはあなたじゃない？とても怖い顔をしていたわよ。
As I was imagining various crisis scenarios while reviewing the area, it seems my face naturally grew somewhat fierce. I stick my index fingers in the corners of my mouth and push them upward. How's this? Better now?
何それ？風見くんどうしちゃったの？
You said I was scary, so I constructed a pleasant smile for your benefit. What's so strange about that?
そうだけど、そんなことする人だった？
Even I clown around every once in a while.
おどけてみなさいよ。
Very well, I will now tell a joke. A sandwich walks into a bar. The barman says, "Sorry, we don't serve food in here." Sakaki, my friend, allow me to explain. The word serve can refer to both offering certain items for sale and...
いやいやいや、わかってる、わかってます。面白くなかっただけ。
What? I had a lot of confidence in that one. It was a smash hit in D&B and Pooh, you know? The hell is that, Yuji?
それは良かったわね。どこかわからないけど。ともかく冗談を言うのは知ってたけど、なんだかちょっと変わったみたい。
Don't know about that. I'm the same person I've always been.
あ、そうだ。ちゃんとお土産買ってきたわよ。はい、これ、風見くんの分。
Whoa! A fluorescent green glow-in-the-dark skeleton keychain. Never expected you'd actually buy one. Much less an anatomically correct model, with limbs that rattle back and forth.
だってちゃんと言ってたでしょ？これ買ってくるって。
Well, I suppose, but the visual impact was intense enough that this fanfare rang out in my head.
ちょっと言ってることわかんない。それと松島さんに、これペナント6枚。種類がたくさんあって迷ったから、とりあえず同じ柄を6枚にしておいた。
I see. Give them to her later. I'm sure she'll be pleased.
そうかな。それじゃあね。
Pendants, though. You barely even find those things in souvenir shop these days. Where exactly did Sakaki wander off to anyway? A few minutes later, Makina's voice unexpectedly reaches my ears. Her high-pitched squawking prompts something almost like nostalgia. That must mean Amani is back as well.
ただいまー。あれ、せっかく帰ってきたのにユージってばあんまり嬉しそうな顔してくれないのね。なんなら熱い抱擁でもしようか。
Not necessary. I'm satisfied to see you safely return. That's all that matters.
何より？ね、何より？何？
I'll rephrase that. I find your safe return preferable to the alternative.
あ、なるほどね。無事の方が無事じゃないよりいいもんね。懐かしいな、お兄ちゃんのその声、その顔、その笑顔。
It's been 2 weeks, Makina. I don't think I'm smiling, actually.
え、そうだっけ？じゃあ笑ってみせるのよさ。
No, I think I'll pass. I tried something similar just now, but it didn't get a very good reception.
ずるい。私にも笑いかけてほしいのよさ。
Alright, enough of that. Amani, my friend, were you able to enjoy a satisfactory period of rest and recreation? Amani answers while lightly smacking her own shoulder in a show of wariness.
まあ、ある程度はね。でもほら、時期も時期だから、地元でお祭りがたくさんあって、それにいちいちマキナが行きたがるのよ。だってさ、お祭りってさ、いいじゃん。だから行きたいじゃん。イカ焼きあるし。食べられないのにたくさん買って、相変わらずって感じ。結局どこにいてもマキナと一緒だと変わらないわね。あ、そうだ、お兄ちゃんイカ焼き食べる？4日前のだけど、食べるかなと思って取っておいたのよさ。
That's gross, Makina.
やめときなさいよ、それ。食べられないと思うわよ。大丈夫だよ。アルミホイルでくるんでおいたからいけるはず。
Makina went out of her way to bring it back, so I suppose I'll take a bite. Surely a very small amount can't do that much digestive damage.
やめときなってば。なにどうしたの？騒がしいじゃない。帰ってきたのに私に挨拶なしとは舐められたもんね。ビシッ。
Versace, damn it. Michiru makes an abrupt dashing entrance. Just as before, she's fully clad in tsundere armor, her expression cheerful and energetic.
あ、チルチル、イカ食う？食べるわよ。ミチル、それ。
What a bold spirit. Ignorance is bliss, as they say.
ほら、担当食べ。ほらほら。
That's so bad.
なにこれ？酢漬けか。酸っぱいよ。わかんない。あ、そう。わあ、うまかった。ミチルは相変わらずね。そうよ。相変わらずよ。
In response to Amani's words, Michiru shoots a quick glance in my direction. I'm not sure of the meaning behind this, if there is any.
ねえお兄ちゃん、久しぶりだから今日は一緒に寝るのよさ。
Makina leaps in my direction and unabashedly coils herself around my arm. The girl seems to be performing her best impression of a monkey escaped from the zoo. Somebody's weirdly brazen today.
それがね、途中からユージに会いたいってダダっ子みたいになってね。寂しかったみたい。でもすっごい不思議。チルチルのことは思い出さなかったのよ。あれ？冗談なのよ。チルチル？
Michiru bites her lower lip and stares in our direction with a troubled expression on her face.
チルチルってば。ねえねえ。何よ。なんでもないわよ。私は普通よ。
It's clear that Michiru suddenly lost her composure. She actually seems to be hyperventilating slightly. What's wrong, Michiru? Calm yourself.
だからどうもしてないってば。どこにでもいる普通のツンデレじゃない。ちょっと気にしすぎよ。
Somehow, I'm not convinced. I exchanged looks with Amane. She seems equally concerned.
大丈夫よね。マキナ、部屋に戻って荷物を片付けちゃおうか。もうちょっとお兄ちゃんとの再会を味わいたいのよさ。いいからいいから、ほら早くね。
Practically torn off me by Amane, Makina grudgingly sets off toward the dorm.
また後で遊んでね。
Yeah. As soon as the two are out of sight, Michiru lowers her head to me apologetically.
ごめんなさい。
For what?
あんな態度とって。でも違うの。そういうんじゃなくて。本当に違うの。みんながいて嬉しいの。すごく楽しい。でも怖くなっちゃったの。
Scared? Of what exactly?
前にも言ったけど、みんなずっと一緒にいられないんだって思ったらとても悲しくなって、それで変になっちゃった。ごめんなさい。
I drop a hand onto Michiru's head and pet her like a cat. That's no good. If you're a tsundere, then act like one. You're worrying too much about a lot of things.
にゃ。あんまり変な感じにならないようにするね。
You do that. There's still plenty of time until graduation, isn't there? No reason to break down now.
わかった。
It's eating something on top of your head.
気にしないで。ビスケットだから。
I'll admit to being somewhat worried, but I'll do my best to pretend otherwise.
風見さんにみちる様じゃないですか。これはお久しぶりでございます。小峰幸、再びこの地に舞い戻ってまいりました。あら、幸じゃない。ちょっと見ない間に。いや、特に変わり映えしないわね。そうですね。人というのはそれほど簡単に変わるものではありませんからね。みちる様は元気そうですが、風見さんはいかがですか？
No problems worth mentioning.
そうですか。それは良かったです。今日からは風見さんとずっと一緒にいますから、もしご用があれば何なりと申し付けてくださいね。
Can I go back to your route, Sachi? Oh my god. I'm sorry.
もちろんみちる様も遠慮はいりませんからね。それでは私、荷物の整理を。サチは普通のこと言ってるだけだよね。それなのになぜか胸が痛くなる。ずっと一緒にいるってユージに言った時、心が苦しくなった。なんだろうこれ。
Man, people sure are egotistical. This is why I feel like when you love something, you want to, you want to monopolize it. It's not that love is necessarily a bad thing in general or a bad feeling at all. It's just that people's ego just restricts other people when they love something. Doesn't necessarily have to be people too. Can be anything really. Don't ask me. You'll probably be back to normal soon enough.
そうか、そうだよね。そうだね。私、今日は部屋で休むことにする。ちょっと調子悪いや。
Either Yuji is like, an airhead, or he's really not wanting to tell Michiru what the hell is going on.
松島さん。
So I really doubt that Yuji is like, that airheaded.
これお土産。
ごめん。今日は休むから明日にしてくれる？ごめんね。 ペナント。
What's a penance? Sorry, I had to clear my throat. My apologies, but Michiru seems to be under the weather. Save those for next time, okay?
うん。ペナ。
With all the students back in the dormitory, our normal lives pick up where they left off 2 weeks ago. Or so I'd like to say. But just as I'd feared, things don't go quite so smoothly. When Michiru spends time with the group, she's quiet and gloomy. Even the perpetually oblivious Makina has caught on, leading to tactful comments such as, "You're acting weird lately, Chiru." From what Michiru's told me, the source of her distress is her belief that everything ends eventually. Personally, it strikes me as pointless to worry about such things, but the girl's clearly suffering in her own way. Our anxieties and fears are personal things. It's impossible for other to ever fully understand them. As the girl grows increasingly unstable, the other Michiru has begun to appear in her place much more frequently. She seems, to put it lightly, somewhat concerned about the situation. That you, Michiru?
そうよ。私。
Oh, sorry. Oh, it's you again. You seem to be appearing a lot recently.
仕方ないでしょ。あの子が怯えて外に出ようとしないんだもの。ずっと部屋に閉じこもっているようなものよ。実際部屋に閉じこもってることも多いけど。あの子なんて言ったかしら。
Meow Mel.
その猫と一緒に部屋で遊んでばっかり。どうも君にもあまり関わらないようにしてるみたい。
Me? Why would she do that?
わかるでしょ。怖いのよ。依存してしまうのは。いつか失うことを恐れて近づけない。思春期には珍しいことじゃないけど、少し彼女の場合は大げさ。
So is there something I can do about this? After briefly thinking it over, she answers in a careful, deliberate tone.
病院に連れて行ってあげることが一番だと思うわ。彼女はとても不安で、それを誰も慰めることができないの。
Ah, sounds like a pragmatic approach.
君が永遠の愛を誓って自らの血を捧げたとしても、その約束が本物だという証拠がない限り、あの子は安心しない。かといって永遠を証明するために何十年も時間をかけるわけにはいかない。
And these days, we have plenty of respectable, competent psychiatrists. I see.
それだけじゃないけどね。隅々まで精密検査を受けさせてほしい。何かわかるかもしれない。
Either way, Michiru's not going to like the idea.
でも仕方ないでしょ。
Lured by the sound of our voice, the black cat pops up out of nowhere. But after taking one look at Michiru, it pauses in confusion, then quickly retreats.
これは少しシリアスな話だけど。
Her face suddenly grave. The girl stares me steadily in the eye.
あの子がこれ以上おかしくならないようにちゃんと見ていてあげて。
Yeah, I guess that might be warranted at this point. With those words, I turn and leave. The girl's arguments seem reasonable enough, but it's unsettling to take advice from someone I know so little about. Who or what is she anyway? I can speculate, but the answer is beyond my grasp. The more I try to fit the pieces together, the more of a scrambled, confusing mess the board becomes. I think it's pretty simple to deduce what she is, Yuji. Later that same afternoon, there's a knock at my door. It's fine. Come in. I wait a few seconds, but the visitor makes no move to enter. I stand and proceed to open the door myself. Unsurprisingly, Michiru's standing on the other side with a dismal look on her face. What's wrong? You stopped by for a reason, I assume. How about coming inside? The girl was barging in without warning only a few days ago, but things have changed. It's as though Michiru walked her through a rain shower. Her shoulders are slumped, and you can practically see the melancholy dripping from her bangs. Retrieving her Ramune candies from a shark pouch of hers, she tosses one after another into her mouth. Perhaps the girl's trying to energize her brain with a rush of glucose, but this still seems somewhat excessive. You're going to give yourself diabetes. Then people aren't immune, you know?
ならないもん。気持ちを落ち着かせるための糖分だもん。
Michiru looks up at me with bloodshot eyes, seemingly waiting for me to say something. Unfortunately, I have no idea what she's expecting. What? If you've got something to say, then spit it out already.
またデートしない？
Michiru asks the question with the tentative wariness of a small animal peeking out from behind a tree. I think she may have deliberately framed the question in a way that allows her to pass it off as a joke, depending on my reaction. Didn't we talk about this before? That was just a game to kill time, right?
わかってるわよ。そうよね。そうなのよ。でもほら、楽しかったのは事実じゃない？だから、どう？
Think about it though. If the others notice, they're going to take it the wrong way.
そうよね。わかってるわよ。ちょっと冗談で言っただけよ。でもさ、ほら、キスだけでもしない？
What are you saying, woman?
なんてね。だから冗談だってば。あんた本気にしたの？まったくもう、ジョークのわからない男ね。
So weak that you'd actually have to try to, you know, frame everything as pretend. But, no, not even like wanting to take a step forward into making it your own. I guess she's too scared to be in a relationship that she doesn't even voice out her... I don't know, actually. I mean, I'm just guessing at this point. But I do think of Michiru as pathetic. I guess you can say that's probably why I dislike her. Hard to take it as a joke when you say it with such a desperate look on your face.
切実な顔なんてしてないわよ。余裕よ、余裕。あ、ニャンメルおいで。にゃー。私はね、別に寂しくなんてないんだからね。ニャンメルがいれば平気だもん。
So you're not dependent on Yuji or dependent on Yuji, but you are dependent on the cat.
にゃー。ほら、いつものビスケットあげる。むちょむちょ、むちょむちょ。
The black cat instantly bites into the doughy cake Michiru offers, not even bothering to smell it first. Foolish little beast. Nothing good can come of allowing yourself to be so thoroughly domesticated. Well, that works, I guess. They say animal therapy can be surprisingly effective.
何よ、セラピーって。私は別に普通だもん。
You know, normal people also need therapy, Michiru. Michiru turns her back to me and makes to leave the room, but she hesitates in front of the door to mumble one final comment.
あんまり他の女の子と仲良くしないでね。
I wait for her to follow up, anticipating something along the lines of a gotcha, or perhaps you took me seriously again. What an idiot. But instead, Michiru simply opens the door and trudges out. Things seem to be heading in a problematic direction. As if to illustrate, the gathering rain clouds outside cast my room into grayish gloom. I'm neither a prophet nor a playboy, but I have a strong suspicion that the balance of this claustrophobic shoebox garden is rapidly breaking down. To fully decipher a story, you need to proceed through it in the proper order. Skipping ahead and learning how things end doesn't mean you understand the substance of the matter. We have no choice but to patiently absorb the author's words and wait for things to come together. But it can be difficult at times, even for me. I've been known to flip forward a few pages and take a peek. Once you've read even one line out of order, learned one thing you shouldn't have, it's not possible to wipe your memory clean and return to your previous spot. No matter what sort of sentence it may be, you have no choice but to accept it. That's the price we pay for our curiosity. True?
そうしたらユージってば私に向かってこんなこと言うのよ。それじゃあコロッケが台無しだなってそれはお兄ちゃんらしいのよさ。なるほどね。またその続き聞かせてね。もちろんよ。さあ今日は解散解散。チルチルは変になったり元気になったり落差が激しいのね。でもそれがチルチルらしさなのよさ。人生はテンション、世の中は緩急、それが大事ってわけよ。
I'm guessing this is the fake Michiru?
それじゃマキナ、おやつ食べに行こうか。おやつだったらあれ食べたい。ジャイアントチョッキー。はいはい、買ってあげるからね。
Nice impersonation. Seems I've become something of a celebrity.
ああ、ユージくん。さっきまであの子ちゃんとここにいたのに、君の気配を感じたら急に引っ込んじゃったわよ。
You don't say. Is she that angry with me?
そういうことじゃないけど。でもどうしたらいいかわからないわ。
So you've been deliberately filling in when she feels like disappearing then?
まあ。
What's wrong, Michiru?
ごめん。部屋まで運んで。
Michiru practically collapses into my arms, limp as a ragdoll. Fainting in the middle of a conversation. This is a first. What the hell is going on with this girl anyway? I carry Michiru to her room and lay her down on her bed. Although I expected her to be out for a while, only a few moments pass before she groggily sits up. It'll probably take a few moments for her to fully regain consciousness, but at least she appears to be alright. And fortunately, the girl who woke up appears to be the Michiru I know best. You alright? Look at the light. I checked the reaction of her pupils with my pen light. But can't find anything out of the ordinary. Of course, at this point, I'm less worried about the girl's physical condition than her psychological state. I'm going to be blunt, Michiru. You should go to a hospital. You can't maintain a normal life under these circumstances. You know that yourself, don't you? That girl said the same thing. It's probably an appropriate step at this point. I curse silently, but it's too late. Since I wasn't in a position to predict the consequences, I've been careful to avoid directly mentioning the other girl to Michiru. But I was distracted by the problem in front of my eyes and my tongue slipped. Now that we've reached this point, coming up with some half-assed lie would probably be counterproductive. Instead of trying to bluff, I answer honestly. She's, well, I guess she's the other you. Michiru slowly raises a hand in front of her face, then sits there staring blankly into her palm like a wind-up toy that's run out of spring.
心のどこかでこんな風に考えたかったの。眠ってる間に勝手に起き上がって水を飲むようなことと同じだって。無遊病みたいなもので自分が無意識にやっているって。だけどそうじゃないって最初から分かってた。ある時期を境に彼女が出てきたことを知ってる。はっきりともう一人いるんでしょ。
That's right. There's definitely someone else entirely inside you.
そっか。そうだよね。うん。そうなんだよね。うん。わかる。ユージは 彼女とお話ししたの？
Yes, we've had several conversations.
何度か。それとも何度も？
What's the difference? Many, I guess. To be accurate, I've been talking with her pretty frequently these last few days. I'd really appreciate a straight answer, Michiru. Who is she?
そんなの私だってわかんないよ。
I have the distinct sense that Michiru is hiding something, but there's clearly no point pursuing the topic further right now. I offer a quiet nod instead. The girl seems to know you very well, down to the last little detail. You'd almost think she was standing over your bed and watching you sleep. But in comparison, you don't know anything about her?
だって記憶がなくなっちゃうから、その子のことはよくわからない。
See, this is also the point that I said that triggered me like a couple episodes back. After I learned about DID, and while it is true, every person is different, but for the most part, usually when it comes to DID, when the others resurface, you don't really have any information about what's going on. It's not like the other Michiru is some sort of genius that suddenly she knows just how to act when the other, vanishes right off the bat. You'd usually be in disarray when you're left like that. But no, the other Michiru is like this godly presence that can just act out what she needs to do at the right moment at the right time. I feel like that's bullshit. Sure, you can say that this is just a story, Azai. You're taking this way too seriously, but I get it. It's supposed to be a fantasy story, but it's supposed to be a story that's also grounded like with realistic rules, at least so far, right? Even though I know that it's not very realistic about what happened with Sachi and like blowing up the building and shit. I guess it's just because I study this. That's why I'm putting this very harshly. But alright, continue on. Guess there's nothing we can do about that. In any case, she said it would be wise to get you to a hospital and...
ねえ、ユージ。
Michiru interrupts me in mid-sentence. I answer with a curt, yes?
どんな女の子？
What kind? Sorry, what are you asking?
もう一人の私ってどんな喋り方でどんな風にものを考えてどんなことをするの？ユージの口からそれを聞きたい。
A problematically broad question, but I decide to offer my honest impressions as they come to me. The other you is sociable and proactive, even aggressive. The girl makes sure her opinions are known. That said, she refuses to talk about herself, so I can't say much more. What I do know is that she seems to be a frank, no-nonsense person.
それで
Oh, sorry. Michiru pesters me for more with the expectant eyes of a child demanding another chapter from a picture book. The girl sometimes takes eccentric actions, but she makes sure to handle the consequences herself. Seems to prefer clear-cut lines of responsibility. She's unpolished in some respects, but on the whole, I think it's fair to say she handles herself well. In particular, she commits herself respectably with her classmates while you're out, to the degree that nobody realizes it's not the real Michiru at least.
そっか。やっぱり彼女か。その子はユージから見て悪い子じゃないんだよね。
Not sure what standard you want me to judge her against, but I don't think she's a heartless sociopath. That said, I know very little about what she's really thinking.
私より上手に生きれるんだとしたら、その子が私の代わりをずっとした方がいいのかもね。
Hold on. We shouldn't even be thinking about anything like that. If this is some sort of illness, we need a qualified doctor to call the shots. Although I keep it to myself, a certain proverb does occur to me. Two kings can't live in one country.
しくてどうすればいいかよくわかんないや。
But for some reason, there's an oddly relieved smile in Michiru's face. It's the expression of someone who had a wad of gum cleanly peel off the bottom of their shoe by pure chance.
次の質問。ユージはその子のこと好き？
If you're asking whether I feel animosity toward her, then
違うよ。そんな話じゃない。女の子として好きかどうか。
difficult to answer. I haven't been looking at her in that way.
じゃあわかりやすく言えば、その子がユージにキスをしてきたら嫌だってこと。
I wouldn't shove her away. That's about all I can say. I recall my first definite encounter with the girl in question. When she did in fact abruptly kiss me, she justified it as the curiosity of someone without romantic experience. But in retrospect, that seems a strange excuse. But is it raining outside? Oh no. I thought it was raining outside. I was like, damn, is it a coincidence? Because it's raining in game.
なるほどなるほど。つまりそれって嫌じゃないってことだよね。
Hold on, Michiru. Is there some point to these questions?
ちょっと待ってよ。ユージ、前に私がキスしてきたって言ってたぞ。ねえねえ、もしかしてそれって彼女とキスしたってこと？
The girl's normally about as sharp as a pile of bricks, but she hones right in on the problematic points. What a pain. That's right. I suppose we might have kissed. Wasn't on my initiative though. The girl suddenly pushed her lips on me.
そうなのか。じゃあ、私がファーストキスだと思ってたのは、そうじゃなかったってことか。
Michiru slowly traces her mouth with a fingertip as she speaks. Probably doesn't even realize she's doing it. As her finger passes back and forth along her lips, her previously clear face begins to cloud over. A deep wrinkle forms in the middle of her forehead, resembling the footprint of a bird in fresh snow.
前に私が落ち込んでた時、慰めに来てくれたよね。でもその時に、お前に言われてきたって言ってた。それもそういうこと？つまり、もう一人の私に言われたってこと？
That's right, it was.
そうなのか。それは恥ずかしいな。ちょっとはそうかもしれないって考えてはいたけど、慰めに来てくれて、ユージって優しいとか思っちゃったし。あ、ねえ、デートは？私とデートごっこしてくれたのは？あれは？
I agreed because the idea of playing house with you didn't strike me as objectionable.
そっか。
But to be fair, the girl had asked me to date you beforehand.
そっか。
I don't want you to misunderstand what I just said, so I'll clarify. I didn't play house with you because that girl told me to. It was entirely my decision.
そんなこと言われてもわかんないよ。だってその子に言われたんでしょ？だったらわかんないじゃん。なんでデートしてなんてお願いしたんだろう。
She claimed to be asking because you'd fallen in love with me.
それすっごい恥ずかしいじゃん。それって私の気持ち全部その子に筒抜けってこと？
It's just what she said to me. Your feelings are something only you understand for sure.
そうだけど。でも実際に好きだもん、ユージのこと。
I try to answer, I see, but the words don't manage to escape my suddenly hoarse throat.
ああ、もうおかしくなりそう。だって今もこの会話だってその子が聞いてるってことでしょ。その子は私よりもうまく人と付き合えて、うまくユージと会話ができて、自分から キスもできちゃう女の子なんでしょ。そんな子に私かなわないよ。
Michiru seems to cry at any moment. I head to the sink, fill a glass with water, and quietly hand it to her. She accepts it with a muted thank you, but doesn't drink.
私が今までずっとやってきたことってあんまり意味なかったのかな。ほら前に言ったじゃない。気がついたら全部がうまくいくようになってるって。それって全部その子がやってくれてたわけでしょ。だったら私がいる意味って何なんだろう。その子が私よりよくできた子だとしたら私の存在の意味は？
I don't know. Why are you asking me? That's something that you have to answer yourself, Michiru. At the end of this long cascade of words, Michiru heaves a brief, heavy sigh, as if reaching a command to breathe in some invisible musical score.
私ね、ユージとデートできてすごく嬉しかったんだ。キスも初めてのキスだと思ってたんだ。でも全部違ったんだね。私バカみたいじゃない？
I mean, I don't think so. You're your own person. I mean, sure, you share the same body, but if you think that it's your first kiss, I don't think anyone can refute you for that. Not from where I'm standing. Don't worry about it.
気にするよ。すっごい気にする。どうしていいかわかんないもん。
The black cat wanders in through the door and twines around Michiru's lower legs, but her expression remains stiff.
ニャンメルと初めて会ったのも、大好きだって思った場所も全部自分で見つけたわけじゃなくて、彼女に導かれたってことだよね。
I don't know.
私何もできてないね。言ったな。ごめんね、ニャンメル。今は無理だよ。ごめん。本当に参っちゃったな。一人にさせて。ニャンメル。
The cat rubs up against Michiru's feet persistently before finally realizing she won't be dispensing the attention it's looking for. It leaves the room in evident disappointment. It's almost like watching a shadow with its own will break free of Michiru's body and escape.
ユージごめん。一人にさせて。私、彼女のこと好きじゃなかったんだ。でもこんな風になったらどうしたらいいかわからないよ。
After silently patting Michiru's head a few times, I obediently leave her room. It's raining outside. Not entirely sure when it started, but our surroundings are already thoroughly damp, chill and gray. The black cat dashes off somewhere through the cold rain, casting a long, narrow shadow behind it. I try to call its name, but it's as though my throat has grown rested. My voice is wiped out by the sound of the falling raindrops. I'd expected the rain to linger, but it vanishes with surprising swiftness. Before I know it, the sound of raindrops against the window disappears, and the cicadas emerge from their hiding places to join in a vigorous chorus of chirps. The sunlight streaming in from the window so bright, it almost feels like the dismal little scene in Michiru's room is all an illusion. As the air grows thick with humidity, I rest my hands on a damp desk and settle my breathing. The world, previously dark as night, has at least regained its luster. I can only hope the change in weather rallies Michiru's spirits a little. Alright then. With those words, I push myself up off the desk. At times, it can be easiest to postpone the planning phase until after you've started moving. My head feels strangely heavy in my shoulders. My thoughts are sluggish and vague. Unless I verbally spur myself on, I don't think I'll manage to take even a first step forward. Alright then, what next? I speak again, trying to get into gear, but my wheels can't find any traction. Well, sometimes it doesn't come easy. I continue speaking my thoughts aloud, but my strangely flat words evaporate into the muggy air. Seems like this technique just isn't going to work today. But fortunately, the deadlock's broken from the other side. I stand and quietly open the door. Michiru stands outside my room with a face full of regret and anxiety, eyes darting back and forth. She plays with the hem of her skirt. The girl clearly hasn't calmed down yet. Judging from those terribly bloodshot eyes, she was probably crying in her room until not so long ago.
ごめんなさい。
Michiru's just full of apologies lately. At this point, it's no longer clear what she's even sorry for. They're meaningless words, filler for when she doesn't know what else to say. You don't need to apologize. Want to come in?
うん、大丈夫。でも私、どうしていいのかわからなくて。
I see. I'm not irresponsible enough to tell you it's not a problem, let alone don't worry about it. But right now, you're too upset to think. Maybe you should pet that cat for a while until you feel a little better.
うん、そうだね。私もそう思ってた。ヨメル、ユウジのとこに来てるかな。
No, he's not in here. I saw him heading out of the school a little while ago.
そっか。じゃあそこかな。私、ニャメルを探しに行ってくるね。
Michiru sets off down the hallway, presumably intending to head for the usual high ridge. But after only a few steps, she loses her balance and has to steady herself against the wall. Maybe you should get a little rest first.
うん。だってさっきニャメルに冷たくしちゃったから、すぐ謝らなくちゃ。これあげるの。
Michiru holds out her hand to show me a small plastic bag, full of biscuits in the shape of various animals.
これはね、いい子にしてた時にだけあげてるの。ちゃんと猫用に作られてるやつなんだよ。でも、一度にたくさんあげたらお腹壊しちゃうから、ちょっとずつね。
The girl forces a strained, quavery smile onto her face. In combination with her swollen red eyes, the effect is downright pitiful. I see. By which you presumably mean, I just bought too many. You can have one, that's it. But that's it.
え？あ、うん、そう。私ツンデレだもんね。そういう風に言わないとね。
Either way, I'll come too. I can't leave you alone in this condition.
本当？嬉しいな。これってデートかな。
I think the term search and rescue operation is more appropriate.
つまりデートじゃないんだよね。
I decided to come along entirely on my own. Nobody else played any role. Is that not enough for you?
うん、それでいいよ。じゃあ行こう。
Michiru reaches down and grasps my hand. Since there's no particular reason to shake her off, I squeeze back with a moderate amount of force. But what do you plan to do if someone sees us like this? Won't your tsundere reputation be ruined?
いいのよ。ユウジが勝手に付きまとってきてるってことにするんだから。
Man, I really hate it when people say it like this, since there's no particular reason to shake her off. I really hate that sort of reasoning. Because usually when you say something like that, it means that, you know, you're trying to lie from your own sense of emotion. Now you're going to make me into a stalker? You really are nothing but trouble, princess. So Yuji is clearly lying to himself,
ニャメル
which kind of pisses me off. Looking around the area restlessly, Michiru calls out the cat's name again and again. Probably wasted effort. I think I'd be able to sense his presence if he was hiding around here. I saw him running toward the road, so he probably left the premises for a while. Maybe he's still outside the campus.
私が冷たくしたから驚いちゃったんだろうね。ねえユージ、ニャンメルが許してくれなかったらどうしよう。
Man, maybe this is also something that I can't relate to, but I had a pet, but mostly just a family pet. It was never really like a pet of my own. And I never really got attached to it. So I don't really understand people's attachment to pets and stuff like that. I mean, to some degree, I don't even have attachment to people in general, so this strikes me as something very odd. Won't forgive you. Give him a little food and he'll forget it ever happened. It's just a cat, you know?
何よその言い方。意地悪。
I mean, he's not wrong.
やっぱりいないな。
You have a place in mind, right? No need to be so uneasy.
うん。
After a slow walk along the seaside road, we finally approached the usual spot. Michiru's not in great shape. She had to squat down and catch her breath several times, but she's refused to take a longer break.
だって早くニャンメルに会いたいもん。
Large puddles of water sit on the surface of the road, beautifully reflecting the blue sky above. Apparently trying not to disturb their brilliance, Michiru carefully steps around them as she walks. Even as I'm watching the girl hop around like an unusually dejected rabbit, my mind is somewhere else entirely. A certain unpleasant premonition has begun to take root inside me. At times like these, my animal instinct is vexingly accurate.
あれいないな。いつもはここにいるんだけど。ニャンメルニャンメル
Michiru frantically searches places where a cat might be hiding, but there's no familiar meow to greet her. The still damp grass leaves her clothes slightly wet. Michiru, don't get too flustered even if he isn't here. Probably just hanging around somewhere else for the moment. There's no cause for alarm.
だってニャンメルいつも私の部屋がここにいるのに今日に限っていないなんて。
Only your room and here? That's more unusual than him going missing. We're dealing with a stray cat. Surely it has other haunts.
野良猫じゃないよ。ニャンメルだよ。 ねえ、だったらどこか他の場所にいるのかな。ヤジュ先に寮に帰ってて、私は探すから。
Look for him where?
全部いそうなところ全部。
Again with the crazy talk.
ニャンメル
A light brown cat spotted with white emerges from a nearby clump of bushes. Michiru heaves a heavy sigh, then crouches down and talks to it.
ねえ、探してるのは君じゃないのよ。ニャンメル知らない？黒猫の。
The stray cat seems to be primarily interested in the biscuits Michiru is holding. Probably emerged after hearing the plastic bag rustling.
これは君にはあげられないのよ。でも一個だけなら。はい、食べ。どこかでニャンメルを見かけたら教えてね。
He might have just wandered back into the dorm on his own by now. Let's get going.
うん、わかった。
Michiru trudges along, clearly discouraged. The sun's just now straight overhead, ruthlessly bathing us in midsummer heat.
ニャンメル、どこ行っちゃったのかな。
What's the point of speculating? It's completely natural for cats to wander off. He'll come back once he gets hungry.
私のせいで家出しちゃったってことだよね。だったら困るよ。それはすごい困る。ねえ、もしかしてここ大きな車も結構通るし、もしかして。
Don't get caught up in what ifs. In the first place, all of a sudden, Michiru drops her plastic bag of biscuits onto the road. I pick it up and hold it out to her, but the girl shows no sign of reaching out to take it. What's wrong? Tired from the walk? I don't mind carrying you on my back if you want.
あれニャンメル
Michiru slowly raises a finger to point far down the path. On the side of the asphalt roadway, There's a small black lump, like a spot of spilled ink.
ユージ、あそこで倒れてるのにやめるかな。やめるじゃない。
I can't say from this distance. I'll take a look, so you stay here. Understand? Don't move an inch.
ね、ユージ。
The black lump's lying about 100 meters ahead. It must have tumbled along the road for a decent distance after the impact. There's a visible bloody trail leading to the small body. This is awful. Still breathing, but it's a matter of time. The black object before my eyes is without a doubt an unfortunate feline that was hit by a car. But I can't determine whether it's Michiru's pet, or simply a stray that bears a strong resemblance to it. No, if I take the time to observe it calmly, I should be able to tell. But for now, I put that off.
やめる。
I told you to wait, damn it! Why didn't you listen? Ignoring my words completely, the girl approaches on trembling legs.
ユージ、この子にやめるだよ。
Michiru's expression instantly crumbles with despair. Her eyes are already full of tears. I briefly hesitate, uncertain to how to explain the reality before us. The cat responds to Michiru's call with a feeble croak. It's unmistakably that familiar meow.
ユージ、どうしよう。やめるの、血が出てる。やめる。
Calm down. Panicking isn't going to help anything. I'll take a look. I examine the cat where it lies limply on the road. There's bleeding from the mouth and ears, but the external wounds don't appear that severe. When I feel gently around the stomach area, I feel the broken bones and ruptured viscera on the other side. The animal suffered serious internal damage from the impact. It's almost like squeezing a rubber bag packed full of ice cubes. I have the unpleasant feeling that his organs aren't where they used to be. Small, bright red pools of blood have formed the edge of the cat's eyes. When I pet his head, the animal blinks, sending them flowing down his face like tears. He's been avoiding me all this time, but this wasn't exactly how I'd pictured our reconciliation.
ねえ、大丈夫なの。やめるは大丈夫なの。
He won't make it if we leave him like this. We need to get him to a vet, and soon.
ならないって死んじゃうの。いなくなっちゃうってこと。そうだってやだよ。
Tell me if you see a car approaching, alright? I'll stop them.
タクシーだ。待ってください。止まってください。
Hey, watch it! You're trying to get yourself killed? As Michiru dashes out into the middle of the road, the driver screeches to a halt, then rolls down his window to shout angrily. I come running after and put both hands on the hood of his taxi. I'm sorry about my friend, but please hear us out. This is an emergency. Can you get us to a veterinarian quickly? We don't have time to argue, alright? In response to my forceful bluster, the apparently soft-hearted driver nods quietly. When I turn back, Michiru is already carrying the limp black cat in her arms. Its limbs lie bent in strange directions from a distance. It almost looks as though she's creating a small bundle of withered branches. Get in, Michiru, and keep calm.
ねえ、助かるかな。やめる、助かるよね。
I don't know. Let's focus on getting him to a veterinarian. That's the most we can do for now. For Meow Mel right now.
やめる、ごめんね。ごめんね。私が優しくしてあげなかったから。だからだよね。だから家出しちゃったんだよね。本当にごめんね。
Inside Michiru's arms, Meow Mel draws ragged, shallow breaths, trembling slightly.
私のせいでこんなことになって本当にごめんね。ごめんね。
This isn't your fault. It was an accident. Apologizing isn't going to change anything.
でもあの時に私がちゃんと構ってあげればこんな思いをしなくて済んだのに。もっとずっと一緒にいてあげられたのに。
Large teardrops tumble down Michiru's cheeks and fall into Meow Meow's face. The cat, lying there like a tattered old carpet, is slowly covered in a mixture of tears and blood.
そうだユージきっとビスケット食べれば元気になるよ。だってニャンメルビスケット大好きだもんね。ねえ貸して。
Michiru seizes the bag of treats from my hands, then breaks one up and places a tiny piece on the tip of her index finger.
ほら好きなんだでしょ。食べてねお願いだから食べて。
Meow Meow tentatively sticks out his tongue and licks Michiru's finger several times. The fragment of biscuit on her finger quickly grows sticky and red with his blood.
ねえ見てユージニャンメル食べたよ。元気になるよね。このまま元気になるよね。
Distorting the truth would be easy enough, but what's the point? My lies can't dull her pain, much less save the cat. I offered him both a sincere answer. Hug him, Michiru. That's the only thing you can do right now.
なんでそんなこと言うの。なんで助からないみたいに言うの。だってほらこんなに元気だよ。ニャンメルこんなに元気になってる。目がキラキラしてるもん。
Meow Meow begins to cough weakly, trying to spit out the saliva and blood pooling in his tiny mouth. But the light's gradually fading from his eyes. As Michiru strokes the cat, hair falls out in bloody clumps and sticks to the seat of the car. The driver glances tentatively back at us through the rearview mirror. Don't worry, I'll pay your cleaning bill. I reach out and gently rest a hand on Meow Meow's body. His convulsions don't seem to be getting any better. There's no longer any room for wishful thinking. It won't be long now.
お願い行かないで。どこにも行かないで。
With one final soft purr, Meow Meow extends his forelegs straight out as if to pester his mother for milk. And just like that, he quietly breathes his last. Michiru must have felt the very instant that tiny life disappeared inside her arms. Trembling violently, she looks over at me with pleading eyes. I shake my head slowly, but she nonetheless presses her lips against the cat's bloodstained mouth and tries artificial respiration. It doesn't go well. In the end, she hangs her head and breaks into hysterical sobs. Some people would probably say it's only a cat, or maybe how much can a relationship that only lasted a few weeks really mean? And I'd be one of those people, Yuji. But there's no denying the fact that this cat was an irreplaceable friend to Michiru. I can also not deny that. A beloved companion was just taken from her in the most meaningless, arbitrary way possible, right before her eyes. There's not even anyone to blame, no story to explain it, to enable acceptance. Death abruptly had wandered by and snatched him away for no reason at all. Sorry, but please change the destination to Mahama Academy. We don't have any reason to visit the veterinarian anymore. When I inform the driver of the situation, Michiru objects in a choked voice.
どうしてまだ助かるかも。
It's not possible anymore. You know it isn't. Accept reality.
でも
I understand that you don't want to believe it, but there's nothing we can do.
どうしてユージはそんな冷静でいられるの。私こんなの耐えられないよ。
I mean, it's probably because he's not as attached to the cat, Michiru.
もし私が私じゃなかったらニャメルは死なずに済んだの。一人のあの子だったら幸せな日々が続いてたの。
What use is there in talking about that? You're you, and she has nothing to do with this. We're getting out. Let me have the cat. I'll take care of it.
処理 なんて言わないで。だってこの子にャンメルだよ。二人で名前つけたんだよ。
I know. Look, just get out of the car, alright? This isn't the time to throw a tantrum.
どうしてなんで冷静でいられるの？ユージはニャンメルのことが大事じゃないの？ねえ、なんで？こうなったのも私が名前をつけたからだ。やっぱり名前なんてつけなきゃよかったんだよ。私と関係しなければよかったんだ。もうやだよ。こんなのやだよ。
I mean, I can understand the reasoning behind what Michiru's trying to convey, but...
もうこれ以上悲しいことはやだよ。誰かと仲良くなったり笑ったりしても結局最後にはお別れしかないんだ。もういいや。こんなのひどいよ。
I grab Michiru by the wrist and forcibly yank her along. Shut up. Then embrace her forcefully. I hug Michiru's slender body against mine so strongly that it feels like I might break her. This is painful for me too. At those words, Michiru buries her face against my chest and begins sobbing convulsively. Miyamel dying is a sad, terrible thing. For both of us. But you need to stop drawing connections that aren't there. The cat's death had nothing to do with anything else. And you sure as hell weren't at fault. This was an accident.
でも
I've been through something very similar myself. I know how it feels, alright. But there's no point in just breaking down. Do what you have to first. If you're going to cry, then do it afterward.
わかんないよ。今私がするべきことなんてわかんない。
Bury the body. Then think. Don't run away. I attempt to pay the cabbie, but he drives off without accepting a dime. Probably wanted to bid the quickest possible farewell to his eerie clients and their bloodstained cat corpse.
私は強いんだ。頭もいいし。だからそんなことが言えるけど。私はバカだから。考えたってわかんないよ。
You keep thinking that way, you're gonna be stuck that way, Michiru. You think that people are born smart? Sure, some people are born geniuses. But for the most part, the only reason people can become smart is if they know that they are dumb enough to realize that they need to put in the effort. Michiru hugs the cat's body tightly, showing no intention of letting go anytime soon. She seems to have accepted the reality of its death, but clearly has no idea how to cope with it. That's not a stuffed animal in your arms. You can't hold on to it forever.
わかってる。
Let me take the cat. I won't treat him badly. After a long internal debate, Michiru finally hands me the cat. Thanks to the summer heat, fluid has already begun to ooze out of its anus. The girl's clothes are soiled. Even so, she pets his head numerous times, clearly reluctant to part.
やめる。
I decide it's probably best to let her be alone for a while. After respectfully dealing with the cat's body, I return to my room and take a shower. The cat died. From an objective point of view, a stray cat was hit by a car. Nothing more, nothing less. In the animal shelters, abandoned pets and feral strays are disposed of in the tens of thousands every year. To the world at large, the death of that cat is essentially meaningless. But a precious fragment of Michiru's world was stolen away before her very eyes. From that perspective, we're clearly facing a gravely serious situation. I gave Michiru a little time to herself. She may have managed to calm down a bit by now. I head to the girl's room to check up on her. It's me. I'm coming in. There's no answer. I open the door immediately, but pause for a moment before entering as if expecting the cat to suddenly poke its head into the gap. This despite the fact that I disposed of his body only a few minutes ago. Ridiculous. Again with the darkness. Let's start by making things a little less... Halfway through the sentence, my breath catches in my throat. Michiru's crumpled awkwardly on the floor, almost as if she's fallen out of the bed. There's a fine white froth around her mouth. Numerous containers of ramen candy lie scattered on the ground around her. I've been slightly suspicious about these for some time now, but it's now obvious they're in fact some kind of medication. An overdose, is it? Lovely. I grab one of the lozenges, I think that's how you say the word, from the floor and pop it in my mouth. The medicine quickly dissolves when I chew, leaving a powdery substance. I immediately spit it out and wipe my tongue with a sleeve. I thought it vaguely resembled a tranquilizer I've seen before. Seems I was correct. Not a particularly strong drug, but that doesn't make an overdose any less dangerous. It's probably like less a tranquilizer and more like something that makes you keep calm. I forgot what it's called in America, but I know people give out these medications a lot for people who are depressed. And also to a lot of ADHD people, I believe, to like make them less active. Michiru, open your mouth. I push Michiru up to a sitting position and wrench open her mouth with my fingers, pulling out a thick, gooey lump of half-melted lozenges. At least she took the medicine straight. If she'd crushed the pills and mixed them into yogurt, or swallowed them down with alcohol, this could have been a lot worse than it was. Pipe down. Getting your stomach pumped hurts like hell, you know? Let's try and deal with this here. The area around her mouth coated with sticky saliva, Michiru breaks down in tears. You did a stupid damn thing just now. Expect a proper scolding later. There's no need to try and bear everything all by yourself, understood? I'm here. Etizolam? Sorry, Chizuru.
ええ、なんとか学園内で処置したけど、これは大問題よ。
I'm aware. I'll repay you for this soon.
そんなこと言ってるんじゃなくて、もう今後は手は貸せませんからね。
It's all right, Michiru. You can sleep a little longer.
私は夢を見ていた。そこは穏やかで何の問題もなかった。もう元の世界には戻りたくないと思った。
This is basically what happened in like that game I played like 2 years ago, I think, or was it 3 years ago? Happy Maher. About being stuck in a dream, not wanting to wake up.
でもすぐに夢から覚めることも分かっていた。だから怖かった。ただひたすらに怖かった。
Maybe she just wanted to avert her eyes from reality for a brief moment. Maybe she wanted to make a permanent escape from this claustrophobic box. Nobody knows Michiru's reasons for taking such a dangerous amount of medication. I can speculate endlessly, but it won't get me any closer to a definitive answer. It might even be that the girl herself has no real explanation. Impulsively overdosing on pills isn't going to change the world around you. Nearly killing yourself won't transform reality. Your pain won't make time run backward. That's what it means to live in this world. Chizuru told our classmates that Michiru had collapsed from anemia. Letting them know about a suicide attempt would without a doubt have created a counterproductive uproar. At this rate, the girl's going to end up shifting from a pseudo tsundere to a sickly character.
あ、おはよ
Morning. How are you feeling?
う。別に大丈夫。何の問題もないよ。
After a few days of rest, Michiru's returned to her normal routine. At a glance, it's hard to believe she might have deliberately attempted to end her own life. The others were fairly worried, but when Michiru brought out the normal tsundere song and dance, they apparently decided she was completely back to normal. But I think otherwise. The girl is absolutely not the same. If anything, she seems like an entirely different person. To be perfectly frank, she looks like a lifeless doll acting out a fictional character.
何よ。そんなに見ないでよね。
Right. Sorry.
ところでね、私、折り合いをつけたのよ。
But today, Michiru strikes up a conversation from her end. After the incident, we've had only the briefest of interactions, so this comes as something of a surprise. Oh. What kind of compromise?
もう決めたの。私には楽しいことなんて必要ないって。ただ生きていればそれでいいんだって。何も望まない。それで全てが解決じゃない？
That doesn't strike me as much of a solution. It's like closing your eyes and covering your ears when the debt collector knocks on your door. Who's going to pay the bill in your place?
そんなんじゃない。とにかく、もう何も必要ない。だからユージ、あんたは自由に生きていいわよ。
What's that supposed to mean?
私を心配しなくていいってこと。私に構わなくていいわ。私のことで煩わされることがなくなるってわけ。嬉しいでしょ。
See, it doesn't work that way, Michiru. If you were going to put on this sort of character or sort of mentality in the first place, you should have shown your weakness to someone. But the fact that we already know your weakness means that we can't, especially someone as a busybody as you would call Yuji, he's not going to be able to not do anything about it. If you were talking this to me, I'd be able to do it. I wouldn't care. But I don't think Yuji is as much of a cold character as people seem to make him to be. I don't remember changing your diapers, and if I thought you were a nuisance, I'd say so. What are you even talking about, woman?
本当は分かってるの。だからそんな風に優しく言わなくても大丈夫。風見さん、みちる様、おはようございます。
When Sachi appears, Michiru abruptly changes her expression and hurls out an energetic greeting.
あら、サチ、今日もメイド全開ね。もちろんです。皆様のメイドですから。みちる様もツンデレ全開ですか？当たり前よ。当たり前なんかじゃないんだからね。おやおや、相変わらず見当外れのツンデレ感ですね。うふふ。でしょ？まあそんなに褒めなくてもいいけどね。うふふ。
Was that really flattering?
褒めているというよりは現状報告という感じでしょうか。けなしてはいません。事実なので。ほらユージ、けなしてないって言ってるわよ。ってことは褒められてるってこ。みちる様、大丈夫ですか？ってことね。何が？大丈夫よ。顔色が冴えないようですが、また貧血ですか？寒い日のプールから上がった子供のように唇が紫ですよ。ふふん、大丈夫よ。これぐらいなんてことないの。ビタミンばっかり取ってて部活にも鉄分を忘れてたわね。レバーをご用意しましょうか。うん、そのうちよろしくね。もちろんです。それでは失礼させていただきます。
Michiru, my friend, try not to push yourself.
別に無理なんてしてないけど。でもそうね。 ちょっと休んでくる。
I think that would be wise. Michiru shuts herself up in her room for several hours, only emerging that evening. Her face is slightly less pallid, but she's still carrying herself a little oddly. Hey, managed to calm down a little?
別に最初から落ち着いてるし、そもそも。お兄ちゃん。あ、チルチル。なんで制服着てるのよさ。もう夏休みなのよ。
Michiru starts in surprise at Makina's words. Seems to have only just realized that her choice of clothes is somewhat unusual for this time of year. I'd made a tactful decision to not comment on the matter, but Makina is a free spirit, unbound by such concerns. Michiru may be making a decent effort to hide it, but she's in a disturbed, unstable frame of mind. The girl pretty clearly isn't capable of paying attention to her clothing right now.
それはだってマキナだって着てるじゃないのよ。私は学校がなくてもたまに制服着るのよさ。趣味で。だったら私だって趣味だもん。まあまあ二人とも。でみちる、ちゃんと元気でやってるの？もちろんよ。ちょうど今トライアスロンから帰ってきたとこ。冗談でしょ。なんで病み上がりで鉄人レース出ちゃうかな。あんたたちが心配しないようにみちる様健在ってところをアピっとかないとね。
None of you people will be able to finish a triathlon. Are you kidding me? Why is that even there? I get that it's a joke, but the average person wouldn't even be able to finish one of the three criterias.
なるほどな。でもそんなアピリはどうでもいいのよ。ねえねえお兄ちゃん、外で影踏みして遊ぼうなのよさ。お天気いいし、これはもう踏みまくれんぞ。マキナってばね、ユージと影踏みしたいって聞かないのよ。一人で練習するって言ってシャドーボクシングならぬシャドー影踏みまでして、なんだかもうよくわかんない感じになっちゃってね。そうなのよさ。シャドウで影を踏むなんて。ああ、言葉にもてあそばれてる感じがして混乱するのよ。
I see. Well, I wouldn't really mind, but... Before answering, I glance at Michiru out of the corner of my eye. There's a clearly unhappy expression on her face, and she's restlessly grinding her foot against the floor. Considering that tough act this afternoon about setting me free or whatever, she looks distinctly jealous over me holding a mere conversation with Makina. Alright, I'll play once you become a true expert at tagging shadows. Until then, content yourself with your image training.
意地悪。でもわかったのよさ。想像力をフルに使ってシャドウするのよさ。ふみふみ。ああ、集中しすぎて本当に影が見えてきた。
I'm pretty sure that's just your shadow.
あ、そっか。これ普通に影じゃん。あぶねえ、騙されるとこだった。ちょっと私そこの空き部屋で休んでくるわね。あ、具合悪いの？大丈夫？平気よ。心配はゴムよ。なんか今発音変じゃなかった？ゴム？ゴム？それじゃあね。
松島さん、この前は渡せなかった6枚の。
ごめんね由美子、その話はまた今度。6枚。みちるってばまだ完全に体調が戻ってないみたいね。ねえユージ、様子見に行った方がいいんじゃない？
What the hell are penance? I'm actually pretty curious now. She feels so sad about that. Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I'll go. Michiru, you alright? Answer me. Oh. You don't look so hot after all. Michiru, let's...
ちょっと来て。
Michiru grasps my wrist and unceremoniously drags me into the unoccupied room. The fuck? This music? Are we actually gonna have sex? Why? What's wrong? The others are worried, you know?
やっぱりダメかもしれない。
Michiru mumbles a spectacularly inadequate explanation in a tear-choked voice. I honestly don't know what she's trying to say.
したい。
Want to do what? If you have something to say, then say it.
恋人ごっこでいいからキスしたい。
Say what? What is this girl thinking? I stopped by out of concern for her physical well-being, and she drags me in here for this, of all things. I don't understand you. First you go on about how you don't want anything from me anymore, and now you're demanding kisses?
ごめんなさい。でも私本当は怖くて仕方ないの。だからお願い、またごっこして。嘘でもそれで安心できると思うから。
If this is like trying to simulate how, you know, like people that are unstable like to flip-flop between their decisions, it's definitely giving that across to me. But just because I can see what they're trying to show doesn't mean that I approve of what they're doing. Is playing pretend really going to satisfy you?
わかんないけど、最後までしてくれたら少しは。
All the way? What's that supposed to mean? Michiru looks at me with an earnest expression and pleads her case.
お願い、私胸が苦しいの。このままじゃダメになっちゃうかもしれない。だから私がここにいてもいい理由が欲しい。私のこと必要だって思ってほしい。
And that's sex? God, I know some people do this sometimes, but I don't know. To me, these sort of people are... Well, this is just me as a third observer, you know? Like I don't know. I feel like they're pathetic. I decline. You're just in a temporary state of mental agitation. Sorry, but I don't make a habit of playing with distraught women.
混乱してないもん。いつもと同じだもん。
You sure as hell don't look it.
いいからしなさいよね。ほらね。
I can't help but let out a little tactless laughter. I guess the girl's trying to demonstrate she's the same as always by means of this incredibly strange tsundere act, but seriously.
なんで笑うのよ。早くごっこしなさい。恋人ごっこ。
What is this scene? This scene is just making me angry, actually. I wonder what I felt like playing this like 10 years ago. Because what I feel right now is just anger. Like, what the fuck? What am I reading? Honestly, you really are an idiot.
うるさい。するのしないの。はっきりしてよね。
Well, the fact that this music's playing means that you guys on YouTube are probably not gonna see this for a bit. But we'll see up until when can you guys see the conversation. Alright, since you insist that strongly, I'll play along. But is this really going to accomplish anything?
わからない。わからないけど、してくれたら、ユージにいろいろ話す勇気が出ると思うし、安心する。
What is this garbage? A lot of stuff, is it? Well, whatever. That works. I do have a lot of things I want to ask you. I pull Michiru close to me and bring my face to hers. When our lips touch lightly, a soft moan escapes from the corner of her mouth. Just as requested, I repeat gentle, affectionate kisses of the sort of loving couple might share. Something wrong? Your breathing seems to have gotten rough all of a sudden.
そんなわけないでしょ。バカ。
How in the hell did Michiru get a spin-off of her own for 2 games, man? I do not understand. Still trying to pull the tsundere act, huh? In that case... Man, I really want to mute you right now, Michiru. As I press my lips against Michiru's yet again, I place my hands on her small chest. Her entire body instantly goes rigid as a board.
そんなこともするの。やめて。
You said to go all the way, didn't you? Having second thoughts? I really will stop if you want. Even as I speak, I remove my hands from Michiru's chest. But she quickly catches the sleeve of my shirt to halt my retreat.
やめないでよ。
Didn't you just tell me to cut it out?
あれはそうだけど違うの。わかってよ。
I see. In that case, next time I won't stop even if you ask me to.
それでいいと思う。もういいからあんまりいろいろ言わないでよね。
God, do people really expect, or like, do the author really expect people to fap to this scene or something? Or what? I am confused as to what the scene is supposed to represent. Because, like I said, I think this actually makes me hate Michiru a lot more than everything else that happened so far. The girl's tough tone fades in and out at random. Feeling nervous, it would seem. It had slipped my mind until her body went stiff at my touch. But Michiru's a total virgin. Maybe a slightly different approach is called for. Don't make me do all the work, Michiru. Try starting to kiss yourself for once. Compared to me kissing you unilaterally, a give and take exchange would be more couple-like, don't you think?
仕方ないからしてあげるわよ。特別なんだからね。
Right. I bring my face toward Michiru's and stop just as my lips are about to make contact with hers. Her cheeks flush a vivid shade of red. Seems she's taken the hint. After a hesitant moment where her eyes flit back and forth, Michiru softly touches her lips to mine, lightly sucks against my mouth, then retreats. Before she has a chance to turn her face aside in embarrassment, I follow and kiss her in return. What is this supposed to represent? Like I'm thinking right now, and I can't find an answer. We press our lips together again and again, alternating attack and defense. Michiru's tension seems to be gradually melting away, as her sighs grow slightly louder and noticeably more passionate. Michiru.
料理ずっとこうしたかった。
Whenever our lips part for a moment, Michiru looks up at me with moist eyes. I reach out to stroke her cheek and slide my hand along her neck to the shoulder. From there, with deliberately teasing slowness, my fingers make their way to her chest. This time, Michiru attempts to disguise her embarrassment by coming at me with a kiss. As I return it, I begin to gently massage her smallish breasts. Seems that long round of kissing has finally gotten the girl warmed up. Every movement of my fingers prompts a small sigh of pleasure. I gradually increased the pace of my caresses and slightly increased the force I applied to her breasts. God, this actually really makes me even worse than when I was like reading through Amane's sex scenes. In Amane's sex scenes, I guess she was trying to make us feel good, so at the very least, it had some sort of substance as to why she kept wanting to have sex. In Michiru's case, I just don't understand. I guess she's in distress and she doesn't even know what she's doing, but still, losing yourself to sex is not the answer. But I guess, like I said, some people do shit like this. But just because I can understand that some people do this doesn't mean that I, you know, am in agreement that they should be doing shit like this. Turning her increasingly misty eyes up to mine, Michiru mumbles vague words. Not that I'm immune myself, I can feel a pleasant heat building up inside my head as I press my lips against Michiru's once more. I guess without context, people can still fap to this, but man, with the context, I don't know. It feels like most people would feel anger like what I'm feeling. Michiru calls out my name in a sweet, fawning tone. Taking that as my cue, I slip my tongue inside her mouth. Taken off her guard by my sudden aggression, Michiru twitches underneath me. But soon, she grabs hold of my shirt and shuts her eyes, then timidly offers me her tongue. At first, only the tips of our tongue touch. It's as if we were cautiously feeling each other out. Our tongues part briefly, only to slowly, tentatively find their way back together. Please, this is hardly anything out of the ordinary. A naughty kiss would be something more like this. I invade even deeper inside Michiru's mouth, twining my tongue around hers as if caressing it. Come on, it's all me again. Don't just sit there. What's the matter? Some tsundere you are. Falling all too easily for my provocation, Michiru attempts to imitate my French kiss. I answer her awkward movements and our tongues tangle wetly together. As our kisses grow deeper, I feel Michiru's heated moans all the more intimately. The contents of my head seem to be slowly approaching the boiling point. My previously deliberate movements grow faster and rougher. I really don't know how to feel when I'm, like, reading this. Watching Michiru squirm around inside my arms, my arousal grows impossible to suppress. Still wrestling my tongue around hers, I begin to undo the buttons of her uniform. I guess this is when I part with you guys on YouTube. This will probably be like a 20-minute sex scene or something. We'll see. Michiru squeaks softly in surprise, but my hands don't stop moving. After removing her ribbon, I quickly finish unbuttoning the blouse, then immediately roll up the bra underneath to expose her breasts. Before I know it, Michiru's fallen asleep in my arms, but we can't exactly lie around here all day. I lift the girl onto my back and head for her room.
ユージ、どうしたの？ みちる具合悪いの？
Alright, we are back, YouTube. And dear God, was that a slog? I think I'm going to hate whatever goes on in this route after that scene. I really just... I was actually really... I don't know, I was just annoyed at the scene. More annoyed than Amane. I was literally looking at the recording minutes, in fact seconds, and seeing just how long does it take for this stupid scene to end. And it ended at about 40-ish minutes. Well, it's like 30 minutes after the cut that I show you guys on YouTube. But yeah, don't pledge on Patreon for Michiru's scenes. It's not worth it. Well, technically, if you just want her scenes purely to fap to, you can still do it. But with context, I personally can't do it. It's like, what the fuck? I personally don't feel anything toward Michiru now. She is literally worst girl for me right now. I can't even say anything because my mind literally don't want to think about what happened the past like 40 minutes.
セーブしますか？
Well, either way, hopefully you guys I don't know, bear through this episode. Or maybe some of you guys actually do like Michiru, and if you guys are fans of Michiru, I am sorry if I bash her a bit too much, but it is my opinion. If you like her, then don't let my opinion really bother you all too much. But yeah, if you guys like this, like it. If you haven't subbed, sub. Don't pledge on the Patreon for Michiru's scene. But if you do want some early access, feel free. And I'll see you guys next time. God, that was awful.